there, I'm Charlie Webb, and I work in the district office. I'm a coordinator of instructional programs, and today I'm going to read to you about Mae Jemison. Mae is a fascinating woman. This book is short and highlights some of the things that she did. I really recommend that you look her up on YouTube and hear some of her story. I'm going to read a little bit to you, and then we can have just a little bit of a chat about it. So, Mae Jemison. Mae is actually about my age. She was born just about the time that I was. Mae Jemison is a scientist. She was also an astronaut. She was the first African American woman to go into space. So when you first hear about Mae, it feels like that's a pretty cool thing, but she's done so many other things with her life. Mae was born on October 17th, 1956, and she loved science. She saw astronauts on TV, and it made her want to go to space. What the book doesn't talk about, but that I learned after I watched a YouTube video on her, is that she was also interested, like a lot of young ladies are, in designer fashion, but ended up deciding that space was where she wanted to be. She studied to become a scientist. She read books about space, and she also did experiments. Here's the really cool thing. Mae decided, as she was a young woman in school, that she was going to go off to college or go off to do her career. She had a couple choices. She was thinking about becoming a doctor, or she was thinking about becoming a professional dancer. So you see, Mae had a lot of different interests. She actually, later, she became a doctor. Sometimes women scientists were treated unfairly, but Jemison worked hard to be successful. So she wasn't just a doctor. She went to West Africa to work with children. She actually worked on doing experiments and finding more information about rabies. Oh my goodness, her list is like a mile long of the things that she worked with. So again, I really encourage you to go look and see how she's, all the things that she did. But in 1987, Jemison joined NASA's astronaut training program. NASA is the organization that leads our space travel. She learned how to live in space, and you can see this is Mae right over here. Before any astronaut goes into space, they do lots of simulations, which means that they create a situation that, like what they will experience in space. In 1992, she went into space, and she was there for 8 days. She did experiments about gravity. Gravity is what pulls us down. She also used her fame to help people. She started her own company and uses science to solve problems. So her company is called Science Sense, S-E-N-S-E. She also started a science camp. She works to help kids follow their dreams, because for her, it's important. She wants young people to know that if you work hard, that your dreams can be anything, that we don't have to limit them to maybe typical jobs that people have, but that you can do most anything if you set your mind to it. So again, she was a doctor, but she also got to go out and go into space. But she also was a professional dancer. Well, she was a dancer. She wasn't a professional dancer, but she was a dancer, and she enjoyed doing something in that end too. So I might enjoy playing lacrosse, but also want to go into a field of maybe neuroscience, which is studying the brain. And then for my friends who are looking at the parts of the book, what's really cool about this book, it gives her some statistics about her, some information, and some key dates. And I didn't talk about this in the book, but in 2011, not too long ago, about 10 years ago, she joined a team working to make a spacecraft that would go to another star. So that's really cool. It does give you in here a book link for more information on her. I recommend. She is a fascinating person, a wonderful role model for all of us. And then for me, because I'm always interested in math, when you work really hard in math, it leads you into these to STEM careers and science careers that can be lots and lots of fun to do. So, wonderful person to read about.